Happy New Year, everyone. You made it. We finished the grueling year of the 9-year cycles of karmic completions, and we're now in 2026, the year of the one, the new beginnings. I hope the rest of your December was easy on you, as I'm sure that you felt the increasing momentum of this new year seeping in. And I will be posting this in the later parts of December. So as you're listening to this, I'm sure that you are feeling that well underway by now. So what a year we have just exited here. What a year. And with the flavor of January seeping in now, January is often that time of our experience where the old meets the new. It feels like that point where the year hasn't quite began just yet. Things are still releasing, they are still purging to create space for this new frequency, this new signature of this year to truly begin. I often find that with each new year, it doesn't quite feel like the new year until February. We're still in that reflection space. We're still integrating, but we're also preparing at the same time. So I have a lot to cover here for this monthly update for January. So I want to dive in, but I do want to reflect on the power of the passage of the solstice in December and how much that is truly shaping the start of this new year. December really brought in a first wave of new consciousness with that solstice energy. And a wave of new consciousness is new levels of awakening and expansion for all of us collectively. And as we go through 2026, we'll be feeling these bump ups of our consciousness levels periodically throughout the year. It feels like December was the first true upgrade of this next level of our ascension path. And remember, we are in quite an acceleration until about 2033. And 2025, 2026, and 2027 will see quite a large amount of change just in these next couple years. As we've already seen that taking place in our lives throughout this past year, and all that really truly took place, but it pressurized us in a way that we haven't quite experienced just yet. These last 5 years have been pretty heavy for many people, but 2025 took things up many notches to ask us to really truly release and create that space for this upcoming year. And as the solstice energies came in, we had a blend of masculine and feminine realignment for our creations ahead. And this was really significant because many people throughout the course of 2025 were really working on a lot of these themes. The balance of giving and receiving, that realignment of their own masculine and feminine energies, as well as the masculine wounding that was really heightened throughout the entire year for many, many men. You may have been noticing last year that many men went through their own healing crises or physical ailments. And the last month of the year really brought about a lot of the culminations around that. Many men moving through different procedures or having ailments come to a head. And women holding space for that, for the masculine to truly catch up. Because this world has run amok with the masculine wounding in many, many ways. And so there was this immense catch-up for the masculine to meet the feminine. And it doesn't mean that one is better than the other. It's about what has been shaped from our world, from our conditioning. And so with this occurring, this created an immense healing for both sides and a space of new creation to be balanced within us, all of us. And during the December event that I did on here for the purging of 2025 and the welcoming, the empowerment of 2026, that was a theme that came through very strongly, of showing how our masculine was getting a boost in our core, of new codes of creation coming in order to create a third level of energy, combining our masculine and feminine energies to boost our creation levels. Because that is what this new year of the One is truly about, what we are creating in the new. So as we enter January, this is already feeling quite different than the 9-year that we just exited. The expansion is already here. But it's going to take some time to really come into its full expression, because we are in the fire horse year now, but it's going to gain some traction as we go along. And they're showing the horse kind of slowly starting to run, and as we pick up the speed, get further into the year, it will turn into more of a gallop. Guides are really showing the color blue being significant for this 1 year. And our throats really being a big theme, not just for January, but for the entire year. So that comes back to the healed feminine energy and the healed masculine energy within us, and how that passes through the gateways of our hearts, the feminine energy really in our sacral, the masculine in our solar plexus, moving up our field and then being fully expressed through our throats, being the culmination of the balancing point of the two, and allowing us to express our soul's gifts, our worth, and really bringing both of those balanced energies into form. So as we enter this month, we start the month off with a portal day, which is 1/1. And that's a very significant day of seeding this entire year ahead. So I often find that the first day of a new year, it's very important to be mindful of what you do that day, what you engage in, because that's really planting the seed and your intentions for the entire year. Could be a day where you spend some time in reflection, you are actively doing practices of creation, working with your intentions, affirmations. Walking a labyrinth can be a really beautiful practice at the start of the year, because that can be a releasing and also an intention setting. I often find it's very important to also notice what spirit is showing you on the first day of the year, as well as the entire length of January. Many themes can show up for you throughout the course of the month. That is Spirit's way of giving you and they're trying to be funny, they're saying a trailer, like a movie trailer, of what is to come. So bear witness to what occurs for you throughout the month of January, and that's going to be a flavor of what your year is going to be like. And that could show up in different symbols, in different methods, maybe noticing things through the animals that visit you, different elements that present themselves, encounters with people. So, very significant thing to notice even as we begin the month. A reminder that a big wrap-up is also continuing to take place in addition to the remnants of the previous year. We are in that later part of the Neptune-Pisces alignment in the 29th degree. Remember when Neptune went direct around December 10th? We started having those themes come back to the surface. And now we're finishing up this last part of it before we officially enter Neptune into Aries at the end of this month. So these next several weeks ahead will really bring those themes up to review of the Neptune-Pisces alignment. And this could be something that you are wrapping up from a larger cycle of maybe many themes that you were already moving throughout 2025. But this is a larger overarching process. So this could be a big cycle completing. And as we enter Neptune in Aries on January 26th, officially, that takes us into the 0 degree point. So that's the start of the new cycle, of a very large cycle, and also shaping our next 9-year cycle ahead. So that is why January can feel like a bit of that hangover, that preparation, and more so this year, because we are going to be completing these larger cycles this month. And we also have the official start of the Chinese New Year on February 17th. So we are not quite in that full expression of the Fire Horse year just yet. And we just left the Wood Snake year of all of that death rebirth theme that was very loud throughout the entire year. And we are entering such a different kind of rhythm with this Fire Horse year. And I've touched on this briefly before, but I do want to just frame it in a little bit more detail here. So the Fire Horse year is a yang energy. It is very outward, it's very expressive, bold, action. It is one of the most activating combinations in the Chinese astrology calendar because it combines a horse that is already very synonymous with movement and that forward expression, being free and liberated, brave, with the energy of fire. And fire holds that boldness, that initiation, and unpredictability, because it can move and scatter, and it can be a bit chaotic with it. So this combination of the two can really bring about quite a bit of acceleration and courage. So when things move fast, they really move. And that's what this year is truly going to be about. And that breaking free from either old limitations, identities, there's a lot of dismantling that can also occur as well, because that horse wants to run, it wants to be free, it wants to do what it wants to do. So there's a boldness to this, but also a risk-taking leadership quality in this year. Stepping more into the spotlight, living more from your authentic self. These are all themes that are already rising, and they're already being prepared and shaped. So it will also be a good thing to be aware of throughout this year, is to be mindful of burnout, to pace yourself. Nervous system regulation is going to be key with the energy of this. Any impatience, restlessness, it's a good year to strengthen or start a meditation practice, because that will help the mind with this kind of airy, fiery energy of this bold quickening that's going to be occurring. So this energy that I'm referring to, it is not fully embodied just yet through January. It is approaching, but this is a time to continue with the shedding, preparation, and also to be in alignment with your vision of where you want to head, what is resonating with you. So clearing any kind of emotional or energetic entanglements that you may still be wrapped up in from the previous year, and really refining your intention as we move through the weeks of January. This is not a time to force action. You may feel eager because last year was quite the year, so you may feel excited and want to get things off the ground or have answers or deeper clarity. But this is not a time to force the action. It's a time to align with those new beginnings and to allow yourself to use the momentum in a rhythm that syncs up with your internal energy and intuition, so that it resonates with you and you are flowing with the shifts rather than forcing. There's still doors we are closing, so it's a matter of honoring that before the propelling movement of the fire horse year. So a couple alignments that I want to touch on here for January is that we begin the month with something called, they're saying throughout the course of all of January, we will have something called an Aquarius stellium. And what this means is many different planets are all syncing up with the sign of Aquarius. Aquarius is that sign of the future, of innovation, of connecting with others in community, of technology. And it's a big piece. Our world is really on the rise with technology, with AI. And I don't want to go on a tangent with that, but I feel that's something I do want to touch on more this year, of our relationship with AI and being mindful of your intentions with it, as well as taking care of your energy as you use it. Aquarius is also in alignment with ideas, kind of breaking from that usual tradition and being that self-starter. So these are all themes that will be shaping our collective intentions as we move through January. Many people went through a very difficult year, or the last several years being challenging. With this new energy coming in this year, there can be a bit of fog lifting. Many people start feeling a bit more like themselves, wanting to be inspired again, wanting to create, wanting to connect. And so we'll see this really shaping the weeks of January in the collective intent around it. Maybe communications being more ramped up, or those connections or group work with one another, craving that community. So this can be a wonderful thing to really shape our year ahead, and that collaborative effort, because this ascension journey that we are in is really going to highlight the we rather than the me. It's about what is good for all rather than the individual focus. And we've been very individually focused as a collective, and now we'll be shifting more into the gears of reclaiming this power as a people and as a collective consciousness. With these waves of upgrades that we'll be moving throughout 2026, you may find that you yourself, as a sensitive soul, or the work that you're being called to, is maybe taking on a new form, or you're being called to a new way to express that, or maybe to rise up in it in a new way. And that's all a byproduct of your higher self leading that show, calling you to step up even more, because the time is coming that the masses are really going to be waking up in bigger ways now. They're going to be seeking that support and those guides. So this entire month is really about sparking new ideas and contemplating the visionary action that you can take in this year. This is our one precious life, as the poet Mary Oliver says. This is our one precious life. What is your dream? What is your dream? Your bigger vision? If not now, then when? It is time. It is time to sync up with your bigger vision. And this Neptune-Aries alignment at the end of the month will really bring that even more. This is a longer term shift that's going to be occurring, where our visions transform into tangible actions. Aries is that initiator, the bold part of the zodiac. So it is going to be time, as we near the end of the month, to really assert that, and using these next several weeks in January in the lead up to allow the vision to brew. Let the vision stir. As we are in Capricorn season, throughout the most part of January. That's going to support us in those tangible, grounded, solid pieces, the structure towards those visions. And reminder that this overarching theme of the visions into action is a multiple decade chapter that's truly unfolding. So there's a larger picture here on a collective level. So a couple lunar alignments to take note in January. We do have January 3rd, a full moon in Cancer. And that can bring about emotions, some sensitivity, that water element, bringing up some relationship themes, maybe some hangover from the themes that you were working throughout 2025. Remembering that full moons do bring completions. So it could have us focused on those areas and also the ideas of home. The home and the safety around home, or even what home means to you. And then on January 18th, we have a new moon in Capricorn. So reflecting on that structure, that foundation that we're building through January, this is a time to really start that foundation truly. Creating those goals. So allow yourself to ride in the flow of the momentum of your visions, and you'll be really supported mid-month for that structure building for your dreams. So it's quite a beautiful month as we are out of the woods of the 9-year, but we're still cleaning up the remnants of it. You could feel the hangover. It was quite a year. So if you're still needing some rest, you're syncing up to that call for some downtime, listen to that. Dreams and visions can also be created and incubated in downtime. That yin energy and the time of winter, of really going within, can support that creativity, that place of inspiration. So listen to what your body needs as this new year does begin, because in time we are going to be called to rise up and to move quickly and expansively into this fire horse year with our fullest expressions. So there was a message that came through from the guides about this month, and I wanted to share that here with you. And as you listen to this message, I invite you to close your eyes and tune into your heart and allow this message to reveal what it needs to reveal in your response to it. As you stand at the threshold of a new dawn, and a dawn that was rightfully claimed through the trials and fires that have burned away what needed to complete, so you could stand at this pinnacle point of becoming the leaders of the new earth. And as you join hands for the many that will follow, in the weeks ahead, that you create in the wave of your awakening. You walk forward together in the light of a grand rising that will be shaping the years to come. And you are needed more so now than ever. It is time to claim your space on the stage, to shine boldly and loudly, for the messages and creations to be shared, for those that will hear the call. The guides who have walked the winding path of challenges and initiations to mirror the reflections of their own becoming It is time to dispel your doubt. Leave your uncertainty at the door and let your heart shine into the spaces and places that are needed. This is why you came here, and it is time to begin. So let that sit with you in whatever way that it ripples out. So a couple notes here. We have a new track here in the library called Creation Activation. This will help to align you with the new energetics of this year and also to boost that creation energy that was already coming in December. So you can listen to that often throughout January to support your visions, your goal creations, and also turning to it often throughout this very powerful year ahead. We have a healing container of support called Emergence, and this is a combination remote experience that includes 2 sessions and also intuitive guidance in between the sessions that will touch on the themes and your personal journey for this year ahead. I'll leave some details below in the description if you feel called to that one. I feel there will be another offering for this month that may take the place of the intuitive group healing. As I'm recording this, I'm continuing to tune into that with the guides. So stay tuned for that piece as well. Have a beautiful month of January. Welcome to this expansive brand new year. And I'm excited to witness and see what all of you create and align with in this year of one, the new beginnings. Take care.